Greetings, friends. Dennis LaRue, it's 8 p.m. and it's time for the hashtag Steel Toes Required Quote of the Week. This is episode number 49. Can you believe that? 49. 49 straight weeks. Now, for those of you that are new, who have never been on Steel Toes before, hey, Donna, say hi to Jake for me. For those of you that haven't watched this before, it's real simple. Hashtag Steel Toes Required means you need to get on steel toe shoes now. Speakers, pastors that I've heard over the years have said when they're about to say something that's gonna hurt a little bit, it's not something you want to hear, but it helps you grow. They say they're about to step on your toes. That's the whole idea for what I do tonight. And I do it through quotes. I love quotes. And I use them all the time. And what I do with those quotes is I use those quotes that have impacted me over the years, currently and a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, that have impacted my life and have helped me grow. And so for this week's quote comes from a book that I have been devouring for the last, 6 months easy. And it's Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This book has just been rocking my world. And for those of you that have watched all 49 episodes, Napoleon Hill is no stranger to the Steel Toes tribe. We've used a couple of his quotes now. So if this is again your first time and you want to catch some of the other episodes, go out to my YouTube page, type in Dennis LaRue Jr., subscribe, boom, there you go. You can watch all 48 episodes that are already out there. So Napoleon Hill said this in Think and Grow Rich. Catch this quote. Here it is. No one is ever defeated until defeat has been accepted as reality. No one has ever been defeated until defeat has been accepted as reality. Whew, come on. That's a mindset issue. It kind of reminds me, in sports, it ain't over till it's over. But defeat, I hate the word. And I'm using that word hate very deliberately. It's like if and but that we talked about last week. Remember, if ifs and buts were candies and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. Well, if and but, along with average, who said the word, mediocre, add this word to the banned list of words in your vocabulary. Defeat. Defeat. Defeat means losing. You guys know I hate to lose. Defeat. Think about this for a minute. I've heard people say this. I fear success. You know what you just said? You just said you're defeated. It only sounds better. You see, when you say that I fear success, what you've just said is you give in and live in a state of defeat. That's right. You're stuck. You're stuck in Defeatsville. Now, I know people that have a feet fetish. Here's a feet fetish you need to have right now. The word defeat. Get it out. That's a word you've got to get out of your vocabulary. Because if you want to get to where you want to go and be who you want to be and do what you want to do and become who you were meant to become, you've got to get defeat out of your mindset. Because here's why. When you allow defeat into your mind, what you are doing is giving defeat free room and board to hide in your thoughts and to show up magically at those moments of success, disguised as doubt. That's right. Doubt is a close relative to defeat. And when doubt gets in, doubt takes it shifts your mind from victory to failure like that. And it's subtle. It's a subtle shift. But when it happens, when you take your eye off the ball, a lot of bad things can happen. I've seen it. I can remember as a kid watching a baseball game. And one of my friends was playing third base, and it was a pop fly. He took his eye off the ball, and it smacked him right in the eye. He had a black eye for a week. That's exactly what happens to us when we take our eye off of the path to success, when we take the eye off of our goals, our dreams, our passions, defeat is right there to drive us into the ground. Defeat is not your friend. A fear of success is not your friend. Defeat is a bad word. It's a word that has to be removed from your vocabulary. So, think about it for a minute. Think about where defeat has showed up in your life. I see it all the time in sports. We call them mental mistakes. You'll hear coaches all the time say, we had a lot of penalties. Today is the first weekend of the NFL. Football games are going on right now. And you'll hear coaches and players say, well, we made a lot of mental mistakes out there. We had penalties. Penalties are mental mistakes. And those type of plays or turnovers, fumbling the football, interceptions, or plays where you score a touchdown that's wiped out because of a penalty. Those all lead to defeat because they're mental mistakes. You're not mentally in the game. So, what about you? Are you mentally in the game? Are you mentally in your game? Do you have goals? Do you have objectives? Do you have a mission? Do you have a vision? We talk about this all the time. What does the finish line look like for you? Or, since it's football, what does the end zone look like for you? If you like hockey, the puck in the net, victory, Stanley Cup, what does that look like for you? What does success and victory look like for you? Because you see, when you're focused on victory, defeat doesn't have a chance. But when you take your eyes off the ball, what's up, Ed Reed? When you take your eyes off the ball, defeat is right there front and center to take you away from the end zone, to take your mind off of things, and then you fumble the football. You drop the pass. You get that penalty because you weren't paying attention to the quarterback and the signals. Or you're out of position completely. All of those lead to defeat. It's a lot of little things. Defeat doesn't just show up and make one big boom. They're small. They're subtle. And they pull you just a little bit out of alignment. Just a little bit. Not much, but just enough that you, over time, veer completely off the charts, off the map. And it's all because you allowed defeat, free room and board, right here. Because you have that what if. But you set that big, hairy, audacious goal to be BHAG. And it's supposed to be big, and it's supposed to blow you away. And it's supposed to scare you. And in those moments of scared, fear, that's when defeat shows up and plants that little seed, and he gets right in there. And he waits for that moment. And then he shows up right when you're on the brink of a major breakthrough. With that simple question, what if? Or here's another one. I don't deserve this. Ooh, there's a good one. I don't deserve this. Well, if not you, then who? You do deserve it. Because you've been working for it. It's what you wanted. It's what your definite desire is. And if that's true, then you do deserve it. Don't hide behind, don't listen to that. That voice that says, I don't deserve this. Yes, you do. You do deserve it. If you worked for it, if you've put in the time, you've put in the blood, you put in the sweat, you put in the tears, you deserve it. Go get it. But when you stay in that moment and you listen to, I don't deserve it, and you listen long enough, you know what? You'll lose it. And you'll be defeated. So, how do we defeat defeat? How do we defeat defeat? A couple things. What I want you to do is I'm not going to tell you. because I wrote a blog on this. And I've got 2 ways for you to defeat defeat. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to DennisLaRue.org. DENNIS LaRue, LARUE.org. And on the tab there's a blog. And you're going to see that blog for this Steel Toes. It'll be the Steel Toes blog. And you're going to see the answers to the question. And I want you to read that blog. And feel free, share it with friends. Read the blog, get those 2 questions, and implement them into your life. Because these 2 things attack the very thing defeat does, your mind. It attacks your mind. And this is a great strategy because I've used it. I've loved it. It's worked well for me when I take a moment to do these 2 things. And so I challenge you to go read it. Thanks, Jamie, for putting that. Blog number 5 right now. It's called blog number 5 for now. We're working on titles. So for now, it's real easy. Blog number 5 is tied to today's Steel Toes. And the quote again, for those of you that were just jumping on, Napoleon Hill from Think and Grow Rich. Highly recommend it. Been reading it now for 6 months. He said, "No one is ever defeated until defeat has been accepted as reality." Folks, you can't allow defeat to mess up your reality. What is it you want? What is it you're chasing? If you don't think you can get it or you don't want it bad enough and you're not focused forward, it will leave. You will be defeated. And if you fear success, remember this, for those of you jumping on, if you fear success, that sounds like a great, I've said it. But here's what I've learned. If you fear success, you know what you've done? You've live in and you give in to defeat. You've accepted defeat. You have said, I fear success. If I fear success, I have said I've lost. I'm defeated. Why try? Think about it. Think about that for a moment. Don't fear success. That's right, Ed. Defeat is not part of the plan, but a temporary obstacle to overcome. That's right. If you're facing obstacles, you've heard me say this. If you're facing obstacles, you're going in the right direction. If you're not facing obstacles, you're probably going in the wrong direction. Because obstacles, I tell you that where you're going, it's hard work. And everything worthwhile, John Maxwell says, is uphill. And it's not easy to run uphill. Don't accept defeat. Get rid of defeat. Get that word out of your vocabulary. Throw it away. Because defeat wants nothing to do with your success. And in fact, success to defeat is to keep you from achieving success. To keep you from achieving your dreams, your goals, your vision, the things that you desire most. It's defeat's job to make sure you don't reach it. It's your job to make sure defeat doesn't get room and board for free in your mind. So go to my blog, DennisLaRue.org, and pick up those two questions, those 2 tools to help you defeat defeat. And with that, that's your Steel Toes for tonight. That's your Steel Toes for this week. Defeat defeat. That's what you're going to do this week. That's what I'm going to do this week. We got to stay vigilant. We got to stay aware. And we got to grow. So with that, it's time for the blessing. I pray the blessing of bread that you know no hunger. I pray the blessing of salt that your life would be flavorful and that you would be flavorful to others. I pray the blessing of wine, that joy and prosperity would be yours, and that the love of God would be your portion this day and forevermore. Folks, thank you so much for joining me on the hashtag Steel Toes Required Quote of the Week. Do me a favor, and if this added value to you and would add value to folks in your network, just please hit share and send this out. Put a little note about defeating defeat, that you watch this every week. It adds value to you, might add value to the folks in your network. I greatly appreciate it so much. And you're right, Donna, defeat, awesome. That's right. So, if you got a foot fetish, add defeat to your foot fetish and defeat it this week. This is Dennis LaRue. Take care, friends. Have a great one. Bye for now.